Good afternoon from the newsroom. Reports from Spain say 14 people have died and a number of others have been injured in a bus crash between Valencia and Barcelona early this morning. It's understood the coach was carrying students on the Erasmus exchange programme. The Irish Embassy in Madrid says it's aware of the accident, but says the nationalities of those involved are not yet known.
A trip to a Spanish festival that ended in tragedy. At around 6 a.m. this morning, this coach was travelling from the Spanish city of Valencia en route to Barcelona when it's reported the driver lost control and the bus careered across the AP7 motorway in the area of Fregenales, south of Tarragona. The Catalan Interior Minister confirmed that 14 people died in the crash, that the victims were all aged in their 20s and most were students on the Erasmus exchange programme. The 56 passengers on board the bus, who came from a number of different countries, were returning from a major festival in Valencia known as the Fallas. Reports suggest that they were students at the University of Barcelona. The Department of Foreign Affairs here says the Irish Embassy in Madrid is aware of the incident, but that the nationalities of those involved have not yet been confirmed. The embassy says that anyone with concerns about Irish citizens who may have been affected by the bus crash should contact the Department of Foreign Affairs or a Spanish emergency number that's dealing with the crash. Samantha Librari, RTE News.
In Turkey, the Interior Minister has said the suicide bomber responsible for yesterday's blast in Istanbul has been identified as a member of so-called Islamic State. No one has yet claimed responsibility for the attack on a popular shopping street, which killed 4 people as well as the suicide bomber. 2 Irish citizens were slightly injured in the explosion. Gardaí investigating the fatal shooting of Vincent Ryan in Finglas in Dublin last month have arrested a man in his 30s. He was arrested yesterday afternoon in West Dublin. He's been detained at Blanchardstown Garda station. 3 men are now in custody in relation to the murder investigation. The independent TD Michael Healy-Rae has said he has not been offered a cabinet position as Minister for Rural Affairs. Speaking on the Weekend Politics programme, he said he has spoken to both parties and he does not believe Fine Gael and Fianna Fáil will go into government together.
But having spoken to the main party leaders, I am fully convinced that we will not see a grand coalition of any sort being pulled together.
Even though it would be the most stable outcome for the government.
Yes, and I'd agree with you. It would probably be the most stable, yes. But having said that, I just don't see it happening.
Figures revealed under Freedom of Information show that more than half the money allocated by a European fund to a retraining fund may be returned. More than 400 staff lost their jobs when the Lufthansa Technik factory in Dublin closed 2 years ago. The European Globalisation Fund provided €2.5 million for retraining, but €1.5 million remains unused. Sinn Féin TD Owen O'Brien, who obtained the figures, has called on the government to do everything in its power to ensure the money is spent by the deadline of next September. 2 more refugees trying to reach the Greek island of Lesbos have died. It comes on the first day that a new plan to reduce the numbers of migrants crossing the Aegean Sea comes into effect. Under the deal agreed between the EU and Turkey, migrants arriving in Greece will be sent back to Turkey if they don't apply for asylum or if their claim is rejected. France is sending more troops to its borders as part of heightened security measures. It follows the arrest of Salah Abdeslam in Brussels on Friday. Yesterday, he was charged with murder in connection with the attacks in Paris last November. Interpol has said it's likely other suspects will attempt to leave Europe. The French Interior Minister said the threat of attack remained extremely high. And in sports news, Nico Rosberg has won the season-opening Australian Grand Prix. Fernando Alonso escaped uninjured after a dramatic incident on lap 17. His car was launched into the air after clipping the back of the car driven by Esteban Gutierrez. After a check-up at the medical centre, Alonso was released. Rosberg took the checkered flag. Defending world champion Lewis Hamilton was second, followed by Sebastian Vettel. And that's Sunday's lunchtime news from all the team. Bye for now.